Hey guys, I'm back. It's bright again, or bright now. I'm not working at 9 o'clock. Baffle, oil pump, bueno. And we will cut to that footage of me doing that now. Just kidding, I was doing some off-camera grinding. So I'm gonna start recording now because that's what people who need to make content do, is record. So I'll just explain what I did. This is pretty self-explanatory. It's hard to put on wrong because there's only one way to put it on. Hole for the dipstick and all the bolts are only in a certain way. Got those on. So for this, I punched out this. There's a part number for that if you needed it. So punched that out. Put the new one in. Holy 0.5. There it is. Alright. And then I got that guy. I was a little worried because this one's a little thicker than the one I got, but I think it worked. Press that in, and I got this one. This is the gasket for the oil pickup. There's a part number for that. The oil pickup is, there we go, little happy VTEC fella. So that will go right here and here. So I punched those out, got the new ones in, and I put a layer of this, the gray sealant. It was a little chunky because it's been sitting for a while, so I had to kind of scoop some of that out. So yeah, letting that sit for a second, and then I have the new rear main seal. So just gotta punch that out, clean it out, and then put that right here. That was actually a problem. That one I think was fine. This one was definitely a problem because if you remember, we opened that up and it was leaking. So put that new one on, well, new gasket at least, or seal. And then that has the two studs for the new oil pan I got because mine is all rubbed on the bottom and rusty and gross. So new that, and after that the bottom will be completely done. Flip it over, we got some side stuff to do. Wassa pump. I don't remember if I got the gasket for that. We'll find out very quickly. So yeah, I'll be back when I make some more progress. We got this, clean it up a little bit. Got the seal. It's down here. So you just take I took a little screwdriver inside that lip there, and you just gently with the hammer, and just it goes out. So I'll put the new seal in there, pop that in there, keep cleaning out the surface on the block, and then put a little sealant on here, and then should go in relatively okay. Alright, so we got new seal pressed in, oiled it, and then pressed it in so it slid in better. We have a nice layer of some sealant on here, and I got some oil on the inside so it'll slip over the crankshaft better. So I'm gonna go put that on and I'll be right back. Alright, so we have rear main seal on. That went on pretty nice. I got this little happy fella on. Got the gasket all lined up. We got a new oil pan, so I will slap that on real quick and I will be right back. Alright, so we got the pan solid. We got all these plus 4 new bolts. I have an affinity for losing things. It's my favorite thing to do. But that fella on there, this guy on here, I went crisscross and then I went all the way around just to make sure. That guy on there. So now, for the first time in like a couple months, way too goddamn long, the bottom of the engine is starting to look like an engine again. So, old tank, all crusty. You guys remember what it looks like? All crusty in there, and the whole thing is all rusted and stuff. So I got a new tank. You guys saw it in the thumbnail last time, but I don't think I showed it. So all nice and clean. It's already painted, but I'm gonna do some more weather resistant paint, and then that breather is gonna go on the tube where the purge used to be, because it doesn't work and you actually can't get them anymore. So it's just going to be naturally purging through a filter. It's like the breather, like the breather filters on cam covers. So we got that, and the main reason why I did that, other than to get a new one, was because this John, now it works a lot better than the old one, but that's gonna work a lot better. I think it's 340 liters per hour. It's E85 compatible, and yeah, so since I need more fuel, that's gonna give it to me. So it's a kit for 90-93 Integra, so it should go in here okay. It is a lot smaller than the stock one, which I figured, because you know, new technology is a lot more efficient. So I guess we'll see how that goes. Alright, so I have the fuel pump out. This is what used to be in there. So we have, it would sit like this in the front. So this was that nut, and then that nut was the ground on the back. So I do have to do a little bit of wiring, because this just plugs into here, and then this goes to up here. So I gotta do a little bit of wiring, but that's fine. It's just power and ground. There's the D-Works makes videos for how to install these, but of course they didn't make any for this generation of Integra, just the one after the DC and the RSX. So what you gotta do, you unbolt these two, you like pop it out of the bottom, and then you pull it off of this. That's this one. So you pull it off, and then there's this little guy is on the bottom of here. So you pull that out, and then that goes on to here on the little tabs. So you make it so that when you put it in, it's like that. And then you have this guy. So he goes, yeah, let me get the light. That's a little better. So this has the that hole, goes like that. Yeah, like this. And then it has a little clip. This goes over the little peg there to keep this sock on the pump. So then that pump uses that. It has the little circle guys right there. Those go into the little fork right there, and then it holds it in. And then they give you new hose and hose clamps. So then once you do all that, then you're pretty much done. So I'm gonna keep on going, and I'll update you guys when I get back. Alright, so this teeny tiny, very easy to lose clip, ask me how I know, is very hard to get on. The easiest way I found to do it is take some needle nose pliers and go like the ends on each side and push it down. Push it down very carefully, because if you let it slip, it's going like 5 feet behind you into the darkest corner you can't find. So now you take the stock, this guy, you take those two that plug in there, and it slips on like that. So I'll get to that. I feel like it's gonna be easier with 2 hands, so I'll be back when I do that. Alright, so it's the 2 days later. I got this all together. So this fuel sock is actually, well, it's a different size than the OG one, so I had to carve away a little bit of the rubber part with the Dremel, but I got that in. And then with the kit, it has the plug that just has 2 wires that come out, so I cut off the eyelets of the old ones and soldered those together and sealed them up, so they'll be good. New hose, so that is good to go once I put the new gasket on it. So now I just got to paint that, so I'm gonna get to it. Alright, so here we are, all painted up. Wait for it to focus. That's good enough. Hold on. It's dark, hold on. Kind of. There we go. So it's all painted. Got the breather on where the purge valve used to be. There we go. New hardware, so shiny. On the old fuel pump. I showed you the D-Works, so that's in there. Fuel level sender with actual gasket last time. There was no gasket on it. And new this guy, so you just put it in and then you hit it with a hammer. Well, you put it in where these holes are, you put them in here, and then you rotate it with a screwdriver and hammer. I had to lift these tabs up a little bit because they were too low, so it wouldn't fit with the gasket, so I lifted them up a little bit, so now it's nice and steady in there. So this is all painted, rust prevented. It's on the bottom too, obviously. Alright, so it's the next night. Got all that hooked up. Focus. That hooked up. This hooked up. All this chilling. So this is ready to go back under the car. I got the this hardware was all rusty when I got it out, so I got that cleaned off. So I'm gonna go pop that in there and I'll be back. Alright, got it up. Gravity really doesn't help you on the way up. So we got those lines all back together, all back in. That red one went to the purge solenoid for the gas, so that's just going nowhere. So we got all that hooked back up. Got the hardware back up for this. So this is nice in place and tight. All the lines are in. I didn't really film it because it was just a lot of struggling, and that would have sucked. Got that bad boy back in. So I got the one plug for the fuel level sender, and then the rest harness that comes up for all of that. That's all plugged in, so it's all good. One small project done. Probably gonna take it off the back jack stands, put it back down on the back two wheels, and yeah. So gonna focus on some other things. Probably just some other small projects like the fender that's still rusty because it got hit. Valve stem seals, springs and retainers, intake and exhaust valves, all Brian Crower, all very expensive. So we got that. Got a little more, got the water pump on and this on, so all this is starting to look a little more like it's supposed to be in the car. So now working on that with that. But why do that when you can paint a valve cover? And I can't do that because I don't have the new keepers yet, so I can't do that. So we got, this is a junkyard B20 valve cover off of CRV. This is the old Integra valve cover still going on there, but I'm gonna paint this one and make it a key rack. So I figure paint this one, get practice on it, do it wrong on this one, so I know how to do it right on the one that's actually going on the car. So I'm gonna get to scrubbing because muy dirty. Xander also has a matching one. Y'all should comment and tell him to do that. Or he can just finish the Civic, which you guys don't even know about. Maybe barely. You've seen it in the background. Alright, so I'm gonna get to scrubbing. I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so after a little bit of sanding, this is what it looks like now. I got most of the big stuff off. There's still a little bit, like you see here, there's a little bit of black, but this is literally just like a rough. Like, I'm not trying to get it perfect, it's just get it to where it looks decent. I'm gonna look at it every once in a while, grab my keys off from it, so it's not gonna be too big of a deal. So I used that brush for most of it, used that for the rest of the stuff I couldn't reach, and I sanded down all the stuff that was really hard to get with some 220, I believe that is. I can't see. I think it's 220. So yeah, now I'm going to wash it down and then prepare. I'm going to do adhesion promoter, primer, and then I'll show you the colors. I'll keep it a surprise. Alright, so hold on. There we go. Got 2 coats of adhesion promoter on there, so just gotta let it sit for 10 minutes, and then we're going to go with some primer. Got the engine enamel primer so it can handle those high temperatures, and this is 2 wet coats and 1 medium coat with 10 minutes in between and 30 minutes after the final one to apply the color. Alright, so here's after the first coat of primer. It looks a lot better now than what it did. I mean, obviously it was nice and dirty before, but now it kind of one uniform color. You can see obviously all the lumps. Not too worried about it because this isn't going on the car and it's more of just kind of a just cause thing. Holy, chill out, cuz. There we go. Alright, so yeah, let it sit for a little bit. Second coat, light coat after this, and then third coat, which is going to be a bit heavier, and then after that, color. Alright, so here's how it looks. Wait a minute, there we go. That is 2 light coats and a medium coat. So now instead of gray, it is white. So the plan is tape off the letters, keep those white, then spray the rest color. So I think that'll be pretty cool. That's it for tonight. Gonna let it cure so I can put tape on it without peeling off the paint. All this, the white is cured. While these dry, it takes 7 days to cure. That's what the can says. So I got these letters. Oh, there we go. All taped off. It took a while and doesn't look the best. There's some spots that are better than others, but I'm not a professional, and this is just gonna be hanging on my wall. So with that, I'm gonna be painting this the same color as the calipers. This is what it looks like. Obviously not the best. This is more of a good enough project, the more it is practice for the real one. It doesn't help that it's been a little humid these past few days and I didn't sand it down completely. Luckily for the cam cover that's going on the actual Integra, it's already been through like a chemical wash and wiped down completely, so that's all the sanding on that stuff. It just needs to be cleaned off with some brake clean and all that. But this was just kind of junkyard, 20 bucks, pick it up. Wanted to make a key rack that I saw. So yeah, there's gonna be wood behind it and then hooks coming out of the spark plug holes. So yeah, so I'm gonna take off the tape before the paint gets stuck to it, and then yeah, I'll let it cure. Honestly, it's not that bad as long as you I'm gonna look close, but as long as you don't do that, the nozzle's fine. Gotta sand off a little bit of the blue because it's on like the silver part. Just gotta sand a little bit off. It kind of came off, but the letters honestly don't look that bad. There's a little bit you see, like not a lot of blue got in the D or the A, and they're not like totally like perfect. Like you can see there's like the edges aren't the best, but honestly I like it for something that's gonna be hanging on my wall and rarely looked at like too hard. I mean it could probably fit on a car if it was like a little rattier, but like it's definitely like a 5-footer. I'm actually pretty proud of this. It looks, I mean the light's doing it dirty. Hold on, there you go. That looks, there you go. So just, yeah, imagine that blue, but that cut out. It's just so shiny. So yeah, I gotta get some wood behind this and some screws, but that'll be for later. Right now I gotta let it cure a little more. Definitely got a lot of run back here just because I was trying to get in that crack. Ayo. But yeah, I mean definitely from up here it looks decent, and then when you go down here you're like, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I might touch that up. I might like spray some like on like the end of a screwdriver and try and touch that up, but honestly not that bad. So if you guys want to try it, I would definitely recommend it. Yeah, so see you whatever the next step is. I don't even know. He wasn't doing anything. So this is a little bit after brought to the shop. We got new valves, very sexy. We lapped them. I lapped them. He watched.
I watched and thought.
And he got a haircut, so he doesn't look like a lesbian anymore.
I don't try to Super.
We got double spring, Brian Crower valve springs, Brian Crower retainers, Brian Crower valves, Supertech keepers, Supertech valve seals. Replace those valve stem seals. So sorry we couldn't record any of that. Most of that was at the shop. So
now we're back at Subway.
Yeah, we got La Ceviche.
Yeah, secret garage. There's a lot of parts and cars.
Yeah.
This thing was starting to get annoying, so my dad fixed it.
Ugh.
Ouch.
I know you guys love all these quick clips. I think next step will be putting that and down the block. So that'll be next. Alright, so I'm back home. Got head here, engine here. Those are ARP head studs, come in a gasket. This one is a little thicker than usual. Let's see, there we go. A little thicker. Got a sticker with it, so that's cool. So I'm gonna put this on, that on, get it all ready for that to go on, finally. Alright, so I figure I should at least get this part because it's a very very big moment putting the head in the block. Good. So I got studs in, just hand tight, and yeah. So take the head with the gasket. The lube that you want to put on the threads so that they go on okay. It's recommended in the instructions, and then you take the washers and the nuts and put them on. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this or if you saw this, but there's the two either bolts if you're using stock or studs if you're using ARP, but the two tallest ones go in the middle, and then the other four go on the side, just because this raised part in the middle. So, alright, so studs there with the got the nuts and the washers, so you make sure you lube both the faces of the washer and the threads. Go the factory torque sequence and go 3 equal steps to this one is 80 foot-pounds. So I got my torque wrench there, so I'm going to look up the factory torque sequence and do 3 steps. I don't think I need to film this just because it's going to be kind of boring and you guys know how to torque stuff, so I'll be back in a second. Alright, so we have the head, hold on, head is fully torqued down. I did 30, 60, 80, and it goes here. That is the torque sequence. This book is really helpful, by the way. So yeah, gotta keep on going now. It's looking a lot more like a motor. So at this point, starting to get close. I mean, hopefully getting together pretty okay. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons why this could work and a lot of reasons why this could not work. One of the main reasons why it could not work is the fact that I built it. I can only imagine I probably messed up a little bit while I've been doing this, but I mean I've been following everything that everyone's recommended, all the instructions, so just kind of gotta hope for the best and do your best. So yeah, gonna keep on going. Got the sticker collection going on over there, got parts from all the bins in the Integra going here, that goes back out to the Integra. Very sweet. Sorry, a little bit of babbling, but it just, I'm glad it's getting this far. So hope you guys are enjoying, and see you on the next step. Alright, so this is the valve cover that's going on the Integra, and I'm going to do same color scheme and everything on this one. So I'm not going to show the whole process since you've already seen it, so I'll just go like this. And now it's the final product. So not my best work. I tried Vaseline to line out the letters instead of tape, and it kind of messed up the edges. It's not too bad if you look from like right about here. It doesn't look bad, but once you zoom in, then it doesn't look too good, but I can live with it. Just cleared it, or clear coated it, so I'm gonna let it sit, and then this will be the valve cover that's going on the Integra. So I mean, from here the letters don't look too bad, but then once you get closer, then you can see not the best, but it is what it is. I can live with it. So yeah.